Hello, my people. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want us to talk about learning. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Don't stop learning. Approach all of life as a student or an apprentice. Continuous learning preserves relevance and confidence. Don't stop learning. Approach all of life as a student or an apprentice. Continuous learning preserves relevance and confidence. Think about the world that we live in today. It is moving at a breathtaking, unprecedented pace. Technologies emerge, disrupt, evolve almost overnight. Industries shift, economic landscapes transform, and the skills that made someone successful 10 years ago or even 5 years ago are often no longer sufficient. In this kind of environment, standing still is actually moving backward. Yet, so many of us fall into a dangerous psychological trap once we finish our formal education or once we reach a certain level of comfort in our careers or personal lives. We adopt a finished mindset. We subconsciously tell ourselves, I have a degree, I have some masters, I have my title, I know my craft, I've arrived. We stop reading deeply. We stop asking curious questions. We stop seeking out new perspectives, and we become defensive when our existing knowledge is challenged. This transition from being a learner to being a knower is the beginning of stagnation. When you believe you already know everything you need to know, your mind closes its doors to new possibilities. You become brittle, inflexible, and increasingly irrelevant in a world that rewards adaptability and growth. And furthermore, this rigidity breeds a subtle creeping insecurity. Deep down within you, part of you knows that the ground is shifting beneath your feet, and because you've stopped learning, you feel unequipped to handle it. That is when true confidence begins to erode. This is the mind shift we need to make. To strip away the exhausting burden of having to be the smartest person in the room and instead embrace the humble, liberating identity of an eternal student or an apprentice. It is about recognizing that life itself is the ultimate university, and that every single person, every challenge, every success, and every failure is an instructor. It is about understanding that continuous learning preserves your relevance, and it also preserves your confidence. Why does adopting the apprentice mindset a powerful force for maintaining relevance? I think the first thing is continuous learning preserves your relevance. I said it before. Relevance isn't something you achieve once and keep forever. It is a moving target. To remain relevant in a changing world, your internal capabilities must evolve at a pace that matches or exceeds the external changes around you. When you approach life as a student, you maintain a state of active curiosity. You are constantly scanning the horizon, absorbing new trends, learning new tools, and adapting your mental models. Think of an apprentice in a traditional craft. They don't just learn one technique and stop. No, they watch the master. They experiment with new materials. They make mistakes and they continuously refine their craft. Because they are always learning, they stay at the cutting edge of their profession. So when you maintain that apprentice mindset, you ensure that you are never left behind by progress. You become adaptable, versatile, and perpetually valuable. No matter how much your industry or the world shifts, you are indispensable. See, and also the apprentice mindset builds unshakable confidence. True confidence doesn't come from pretending to know everything. It comes from knowing that you can figure anything out. When you carry the burden of needing to appear infallible, every challenge feels like a threat to your ego. You worry about being exposed. You worry about making a mistake. You worry about not having the answer. That is a fragile, anxiety-ridden state of being. When you adopt the identity of a student, the entire dynamic flips. Mistakes are no longer existential threats. They are simply data points, lessons learned on the path to mastery. Not knowing the answer is not a failure. It is an invitation to investigate and learn. This particular mind shift frees you from the prison of perfectionism. Your confidence becomes grounded in your capacity to learn, to grow, and to adapt. You realize that you don't need to fear the unknown because you know how to become a student of the unknown. And curiosity defeats cynicism and burnout. See, as people age or spend long years in a single career, they often develop cynicism. They feel like they've seen it all, that nothing new works, and that effort is pointless. Cynicism is the death of passion and innovation. Curiosity is the antidote to cynicism. When you approach life with a wide-eyed wonder and disciplined inquiry of a student, the world remains endlessly fascinating. Problems are not just annoyances, they are puzzles to be solved. People are not just obstacles, they are teachers with unique experiences to share. This continuous influx of new learning keeps your mind energized, enthusiastic, and protected from the heavy burnout that plagues those who have stopped growing. Continuous learning also helps accelerate problem solving. See, a mind that is actively learning is a mind that is rich with diverse mental models, diverse frameworks and perspectives. So when you read broadly, you study different disciplines, and you remain open to new ideas, you build a massive mental toolkit. When a complex problem arises in your life or career, you are not limited to one narrow way of thinking. No, you can draw insights from history, science, art, psychology, and everyday human experience to craft innovative and elegant solutions. So, how do you now develop this apprentice mindset in our daily lives? How do we break out of the Noah trap and become lifelong students? I think it requires intentional practice and a regular humbling of our ego. And the first advice I will give is embrace the power of I don't know. These 4 words are liberating. Make it a habit to admit when you lack information or understanding. Instead of bluffing your way through a conversation or a challenge, lean into it with curiosity. Say, I actually don't know much about that, but I would love to learn. Watch how instantly that disarms tension and opens the door to valuable instruction. And number 2, develop a reading and consuming habit. Dedicate time every single day to feed your mind with high quality input, with high quality content. Read books outside your immediate professional or personal field. Listen to podcasts that challenges your assumptions like this. Study biographies of people who fascinate you. Treat your mind like a high performance engine. What you put into it dictates what it produces. And number 3, treat every failure as a masterclass. When things go wrong, and they will go wrong, resist the urge to simply feel defeated or defensive. Put on your student hat and ask the analytical question: what is this situation trying to teach me? Where was my blind spot? Extract the lesson, integrate it into your understanding, and move forward wiser. See, number 4, seek out mentors and learn from your peers. And number 5, experiment and play. See, children learn rapidly because they are not afraid to look foolish. They experiment, they play, they test boundaries. As adults, we often lose that playful spirit because we are too concerned with maintaining image or dignity. Give yourself permission to be a beginner at something new this year. And now finally, unlearn what is no longer true. True continuous learning is not just about adding new information. It is also about having the intellectual humility to let go of old beliefs, to let go of outdated habits and disproven assumptions. Be willing to update your worldview when presented with better evidence. This mind shift is about recognizing that your education doesn't end on your graduation or convocation day, and it shouldn't end until your last breath. It is about understanding that the most vibrant, resilient, and confident people in the world are those who never lose their appetite for growth. So, my fellow mind shifters, I challenge you today. Identify one area in your life where you've grown rigid or complacent, where you think you've figured it out. Adopt the beginner's mindset. Ask a new question. Read a new book. Admit what you don't know. Make continuous learning your lifelong practice and watch as it preserves